Our Zayo Connection guest, Coach Heather Tarr. Heather, thanks for joining us. And we've talked a lot about just the fierce mentality of Ruby Malin in the circle, and it just seems like she wants the ball and she wants big moments. Help us understand how tough that is for a freshman, and yet here she is.
Yeah, I mean, we want people to compete, and all of them want the ball, and that's the hard part about being a coach, about players that want to play and compete. So she definitely embodies that, and we love throwing her out there.
Well, Coach, I was talking about how your team, I think you guys are playing some of your best ball of the season at this point. Just what's your assessment of your club just right now? Of course, first Pac-12 tournament, but postseason's here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of waiting to play at our best, and the last couple of years, I think we peaked at the wrong time and kind of started a trajectory maybe too soon. So we're hoping that trajectory is starting now, and we're on the up.
Heather, thanks so much for taking the time, as always. Good luck today and beyond.
Thanks, guys.
Heather Tarr, longest tenured head coach in the Pac-12, all those years as a player and as a coach. I mean, this is a 30-year anniversary for Washington softball. Heather has been involved with Husky softball for 24 of those years.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that you talk about the 30 years of Washington softball, and it's a celebration of the program, but it's kind of like it's the Heather Tarr celebration because she's been there for so long in so many different aspects. It's really, when you think of Washington softball, you think of Coach Tarr and what she's been able to do, and just putting her stamp on this program, and the legacy coach right there.
Higa, no way you're going to throw her out. Big chop takes Holtorf onto the grass, so the single starts things off nicely for Oregon State.
Holtorf went deep in the hole.
Yeah, she did.
Sure, let's just throw it. That was a pretty play. Definitely a base hit all the way.
So that'll bring up Hamoudi. When she set the Oregon State career home run record, it came against these Washington Huskies in Corvallis. It was a game that Oregon State run-ruled Washington, game 3 of that series. You just don't do that to the Washington Huskies. And she likes playing against this Washington club.
Sitting on a change there. Kelly Lynch in the circle there for Washington. Thought there was a chance that we might see Lynch in the circle, right? But you have 3 different arms Washington can go to.
Frankie singled her last time up. It was an interesting series when these clubs met. Game 1, Washington wins it 2-0. Lynch and Malin combined for a no-no in that game. And then that really close game where Oregon State left runners aboard in the 7th. Washington wins by 1, and then the big run rule victory for Oregon State in game 3, where Frankie sets the career mark. Crazy series.
So not only does Frankie have the career home run record for Oregon State, she also has the single season home run record. So this is a young lady that is leaving her mark. She will graduate all over the record books for the Beavers.
One and 2 here, though. Got to protect. High and tight, 2 and 2. There's some Frankie numbers. Frankie, the freak hitter.
Double-digit home runs every single season. That is so hard to do, especially when you come out of the gates. Your freshman season, you hit 17. Okay, yeah, people are going to scout you a little bit and maybe figure out your weaknesses, and she just continues to swing.
This could be 2. That's just good defense by the Huskies. Frankie doesn't move the best, and you had a feeling on contact that was going to happen.
We've seen a couple of great defensive plays thus far in this game. This is so smooth, Klingler, and I love Holtorf no steps. So she just using her arm strength. You saw it in the at bat prior with her gun across the diamond almost in left field, but no step, quick fire, and that's a much needed double play from the Husky defense.
Well, that's huge, as Moody always a threat to go a yard. So the double play in the books. So now 2 down and nobody on for Rivera. last weekend against Arizona State, Rivera took a couple of really hard-hit foul balls off the mask, and then a couple of times in game 3 her knee buckled. She eventually had to leave the game late in the contest, and we asked Coach Berg, is she good? And with a big sigh of relief, Coach said, yeah, Des is going to be okay. Thank goodness.
Coach Berg's probably like, really? You're going to ask me about another injury? I will not answer.
Well,
We're not gonna talk about
Campbell,
it.
with the backup catcher
Yeah.
out, so Dorr comes behind the plate then. That's how flexible she is, moving from third to catcher. But Des is good to go. Chop. Plenty of time. And that'll do it. Good defense. Turning that double play. Washington's still leading.
Offense, when you have defense like this, Frankie Hamudi, the 5th-year senior, she's the home run hitter, she's up, and Washington is able to turn this double play. This is all about the transfer. Riley Holtorf has the cannon of an arm, doesn't even need a step. When you think about Washington, I said this earlier, you think of lockdown defense, and they're showing us that right now here in this pitcher's duel as we head to the 6th.
The Huskies second in fielding percentage, and showing you why. So you let your defense work behind you. If you're the freshman Ruby Malin, check. You get the long ball. Yeah, it's just a solo homer, but at least you've got the lead. Check. And here we are late in this game. Mendoza, the number 9 hitter, will lead things off for Oregon State. Singled up the middle her last plate appearance.
It's kind of interesting. You look at Ruby's line, 1 strikeout on the day, and it was the first batter of this game. And so she's just been really using the dirt, working that drop ball. We've seen a couple of pop-ups sprayed around as well. You can tell she's pumping the zone, working up and down. We've seen a couple of off speeds. And the key for me is no walks. It's always the key. You see a pitcher's duel. I don't care who you are in the Pac-12 team, you just cannot give up the free passes.
Yep.
We saw that in game 1 and how it came around to hurt Cal in that first inning. You put 2 people on, and then you just need 1 big hit, and all of a sudden it's a lopsided score.
Good eye by Mendoza. Aaron grabbing the starter's role kind of later in the season, going back and forth for a while, but feeling comfortable in left field. Little chop. Espinoza guns her down.
Strikeouts are fun, you bet. But I'll tell you what else is fun, keeping your pitch count down. And you look at where Ruby Malin is right now in the 6th inning, 64 pitches.
Wow.
That is about as efficient as you can be at this stage in the game. And that's so key because she's their ace. Of course, we talked about you have Kelly Lynch and Lindsay Lopez, who are great pitchers in their own right. But if you're going to ride a horse, you want to make sure that pitch count is down. There you go, another quick one. Just pounding the zone. It's so simple. It's hard to do, but it's simple to say, hard to do.
Well, I think your pitch count comes up at a really critical time, Kent, because she's been so effective and efficient.
Trusting your defense, too. It takes so much trust to pump the zone. It sounds so funny to say, but sometimes you can kind of get in your head as a pitcher where I've got to really expand the zone, get the hitters to chase, and sometimes it's like, no, let them hit it. Trust your spin. Work the corners. Trust that your game plan is going to be what it is, and your defense will make the plays.
So here's Messmer. Now, Malin does have 7 double-digit K games, but she's had a chunk of games where she's had 1 or 2 Ks, still effective, still efficient, just like she's showing us today. So 1-1 to Messmer, trying to get things going here. 2 down in the 6th. Oregon State burning daylight, but still just behind 1 run, and you've got some home run power selectively through the lineup. You never know, and it might take a long ball for Oregon State to get back in this thing or go on top. Messmer, pretty deep. And on the warning track, as if on cue, is Reynolds, as Messmer just misses tying this thing up.
Washington looking for some more offense.
Late in this one, the Huskies leading Oregon State 1-0 on Alchin's solo home run. That seems like it came forever ago. Garcia, Steptoe, Ruby Malin giving us a treat and putting on a show in their respective circles.
Yeah, just 3 hits, 1 strikeout, and a whole lot of good defense for Washington. So really, I'm kind of biting my words here because I said earlier that solo home runs don't hurt you, but hey, that's the only offense that we've seen. It's just so different than what we've seen the entire season in the Pac-12 conference. Some of the best hitting and some lopsided numbers this season for the offense against the pitchers. It's been that type of a year where I feel like the Pac-12 has had so many dominant arms last couple of seasons, and this season it's all about the hitters.
When the Huskies took that series against Stanford, they lost game 1 in a heartbreaker 2-1, and then win game 2 1-0. So they're comfortable in these 1-run games, are the Huskies. Here's Klingler looking for her first hit of the game. Four-game hit streak on the line. Klingler leads this club in walks and only 5 strikeouts this entire year. Now, she's a transfer out of A&M, is Klingler. And in her at-bats at Washington, coming into today, a total of 24 Ks wearing Washington gear in 576 at-bats. Come on.
Makes it a little bit daunting if you're a pitcher.
That's just nutty.
See the timeout very quickly between Rivera and Steptoe, falling behind in the count. You have to be very careful here. A pitcher's duel 1 pitch, and Washington could add some very much needed insurance.
Rivera crossed up a little bit there as the count goes to 3-1. Remember, Klingler, who leads this club in hits, runs, doubles, and ribbies, also has 11 home runs. I have enough time to say leads the way in on-base and slugging percentage too. Goodness, Bailey. Fooled on that pitch. Good job by Steptoe falling way behind and getting the dangerous Klingler to fly out.
Steptoe in relief has looked really sharp. 2 strikeouts, a couple of ground balls. This one a fly out to Klingler. Mendoza tracking it down and left. It's a big out.
So here's Reynolds. Steptoe coming on in relief in the 4th has not allowed a base runner. That's how dominant she's been at this point against a really lethal Washington Husky lineup.
Love that pitch there from Steptoe. A little bit up in the zone, but it's moving down still. Going in tight on the hands of Reynolds.
This is as confident and aggressive as I've seen Steptoe in a while. High and tight there.
I've loved both the mentality of Steptoe and Garcia in the circle today. You can just kind of tell they're embracing that true underdog. Nothing to lose in this situation. Got the 7 seed, Washington the 2 seed, and they've just been pitching fearless. It's been fun to watch.
So 3-1, consecutive 3-1 counts to Washington batters, and you're right on the nothing to lose thing. I mean, no one before this game started was thinking, oh yeah, I think Oregon State's got action. Nobody outside of that dugout. I love the way they've performed, and give Washington all the credit in the world at this point. Their defense and pitching has just been spot on. First base runner allowed by Steptoe via the free pass. And that brings up the dangerous Husky.
And I'm just going to keep my eye on that runner at first base in Husky because that's the first walk in this game on both sides. Pitchers have been so efficient attacking the zone. And right away you're going to see a quick mound visit for Oregon State after the walk to Reynolds.
Pitching coach Jamie Wiggins goes way back with Laura Berg, another Fresno State product, and a pinch runner for this Washington Husky team, Brooklyn Carter, and boy can she fly.
I have been waiting to see this substitution. It tells you the speed because Sammy Reynolds can run. She's one of the fastest players on the roster for Washington, but Carter's faster.
And then here's Carter.
Yep, flat out fly on the base pads. It's just a matter of when she's going to go and how many bases is she going to try and swipe.
24 for 26 in the stolen base department. Rivera has done a lot better since the beginning of conference play in keeping runners close and throwing them out in Pac-12 play. But Carter's a different beast. Big chop. Ooh, Husky almost found the line. Carter, that ball barely got through the infield, and Carter, if it was fair, was towing the line, digging in for third.
Looked like a little hit and run action for Washington. Putting Carter in motion, putting Maddie Husky in motion with the bat. Just foul.
Carter, all freshman, second in the Pac-12 in steals. She's at first. The walk issued to Reynolds. Carter pinch running. Husky looking for yet another hit. Steptoe says, I'm not taking any chance with Carter. Goes for the safe out at first.
It's a missed opportunity for Steptoe in the circle. It's a little bit going on. It's just all about pre-pitch communication right there. She doesn't know that there's a runner at first. She doesn't even look. You've got to know quickly. Runner at first base. You get a ball, one hopper, easy like that. Double play all day. Could be out of this inning easily. Even, I'm telling you, with the speed of Carter, she would have been out at second, but she didn't even turn to look. It was all about just first base. And for Steptoe, you hope that you can continue to get out of it, but the opportunity for a double play and to get out of the inning was right there.
So a runner in scoring position now in Carter, and here's Lynch. Ground ball. Clark has to stay home. She does. And Washington strands a runner. I'll keep saying it. Still anybody's game.